The land we're on, the Kwangwin, Songay, Esquimalt peoples, thank you for allowing us to be here. I'm 80. 80 years ago, I was born in Treaty 7 territory. I first learned what it was to be a settler from friends, comrades in Hebron. They told me, we are the indigenous people here and we're going to stay here. That's my land acknowledgement. Today I'd like to say a few words about one of our demands, and that is an embargo on weapons. Okay. Let me start with a very short story. 54 years ago, I sat on the banks of the Mekong River over from Thailand, looking across the river at Laos, and I watched the B-52 bombers dropping bombs on the tunnels and on the paths through Laos. Shame. Fortunately, Nixon and Kissinger are dead now, but the people there live on. Those bombers had 1 ton of Canadian nickel in each of them. Today, Israel has just over 30 F-35 fighter jets. Canada signed over $2 billion worth of contracts to supply F-35 jets with wing structures, tail structures, bomb bay doors, and so on and so on. It was worth about $2 billion. We don't hear about this. We don't hear about this because under the masquerade, somewhat of a masquerade, the arms treaty that Canada signed in 2019, yes, $21 million worth of arms went from Canada to Israel. Shame on Trudeau, shame on the whole crowd. However, that pales into insignificance in relation to the sending of those weapons, that F-35, and who knows what else, under billions of dollars of trade between Canada and the United States. Those weapons go from Canada to the US to Israel, the weapons and the bombs. We should all be writing, yelling at our members of parliament to abrogate that treaty. Abrogate those agreements with the United States for the people of Gaza, of Palestine. Stop it! Ceasefire! The other thing I'd like to mention today is comrades in South Africa have said we want the Genocide Convention to be enforced. We want the International Court of Justice to look at what Israel is doing. Canada should be there. Canada should be at our embassy in Washington, our embassy in South Africa, and say, we support this attempt, this legal right attempt to overcome, to put these fellows, Netanyahu, Biden and company, in jail. Give them justice, send them to the Justice Court, and send them to the International Criminal Court. That's the kind of thing we have to do. And in closing, I'd like to give a word of thanks to workers here in Canada. I'm thinking of one particular incident recently in Mississauga a couple of weeks ago, where workers and community activists actually shut down a Canadian plant by Pratt & Whitney, actually shut it down for a short while. Pratt & Whitney makes the engines for those horrible drones. Shut them down. Stop it. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.